Stop downloading transition packs. Here's how to make your own reusable ones in Adobe Premiere with Adobe Stock assets. What kills time and honestly kills productivity, especially when you've got a lot of similar types of videos you're editing regularly, is constantly searching for new transitions, effects, music, and even text. You have to leave your editing software to head over to another website. You have to search, purchase, download, import, and finally, you're back to work. But that was a long process. One way I streamlined this process for myself is by creating my own library of custom and frequently used assets. I love making my own transitions because it allows me more control over the flow of the transition itself. Oh, by the way, if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Lizzie Pierce. I'm a video producer, photographer, videographer, and editor turned YouTuber and online educator. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use the Adobe Stock panel to search, preview, license, and apply assets in order to create these 3 reusable transitions without ever leaving Adobe Premiere. First, let's navigate to the Adobe Stock panel in Adobe Premiere. So if you're new to Adobe Stock, it gives you access to millions of high-quality assets, including video, images, graphics, and audio, all in one place and all under one subscription. Now, I'll be using the Adobe Stock Unlimited subscription because it allows me to download and use content without worrying about per asset limits. I'm gonna go ahead and navigate to Video Overlays, then click here to add more filters to my search. And this is where I can specify the orientation, resolution, and the frame rate. Now you can preview your clips right away and hit download when you find one you like, and you can instantly start using your clip. It'll get placed directly into a bin within your project and in the library folder right here. Now, being able to stay within Adobe Premiere to source these assets means I never forget a clip in my download bin that I didn't save to a project on my hard drive. So this ensures that I always have access to every asset and even a record actually of my past searches. Once I have my clip in my timeline, I'll navigate to the spot between 2 clips where I'd like my transition to go. Now I'll just add a short cross dissolve on either end of the clip. Finally, change the blend mode. Now this is where the magic happens. I often find I select linear dodge add. Each blend mode will affect your video differently, can add some interesting color, and really add a fun twist onto the transition that's uniquely yours. And finally, I recommend adding a marker to indicate exactly where you want the cut to land within the transition. Another style of transition that is always very popular is a film burn. Let's select this one so it's a little different. Also note that you don't have to completely hide a cut in order for this to be a successful transition. You're just looking for something that's going to help imply a frame change and acts as more of a handoff into the following clip. Back to the lens flare. I'm gonna change the blend mode and add a cross dissolve, add my marker, and voila, there's transition number 2. Now my third and final transition overlay is gonna be something a bit more grungy. One final time, we're gonna navigate over to the Adobe Stock panel, and under Video Overlays, we'll search grunge. Now, if there's a black background, like between these 2 Polaroid photo examples, a quick flash of this overlay is much more visually interesting than a simple flash transition. Or if you'd like something more gradual to bridge 2 longer clips, I chopped up this overlay clip into 3 sections. Then I changed the blend mode to linear dodge add again on the first and last clip, but I left the blend mode on the center clip to normal. This way, you'll get the full effect and coverage of the overlay in the center of the cut between the 2 clips. I've made so many of these transitions using different overlays by searching and using keywords like film burns, light leaks, hole punch, glitch, grunge, photocopy, whip, and I have all of these licensed clips in my library here, but of course we want a way to keep these pre-made ones handy for the next time. To make all of these templates reusable for the future, my favorite way is to make a template project file. So we're going to name that first and call it template overlay transitions. Then we're going to nest each transition and name it as well. We'll then place each of the nested transitions into one sequence, name the sequence, and from now on we can import this sequence into future projects and have all the templates ready to go. So instead of constantly searching, downloading, and rebuilding transitions, you're now building a system. Because for creators producing content regularly, we need convenience and consistent high quality work. And that's where the Adobe Stock Unlimited subscription really changes the game. You can now experiment freely, test different styles, and build variations without second guessing the downloads. So whether you're editing YouTube videos, client work, or high volume content, this is how you stop wasting time on transitions and start owning them. So if you want to try out this workflow for yourself, open the Adobe Stock panel right inside Adobe Premiere and explore the Adobe Stock Unlimited subscription plan for unlimited access to over 900 million stock assets like these.